Right then, we are back. So, sorry about that, obviously, a little bit of stream lags, and we should be all good right now. So yes, Viper's on the way. Oh, he already is at Feudal, sorry. And I want to see that man-at-arms upgrade. That upgrade's going to be pretty strong when it comes to breaking down these palisade walls. Certainly going to make these man-at-arms better at it. Or these militia even, and there you go, that's on the way, as well as a tower going into Mr. Yo's woodline. Mr. Yo, he does not see that, and he is going to find a nasty surprise when that goes up. Mom, apparently, just donated $1. Sorry for the lags, but I need to stream Hello Kitty. Right. Very... What? I don't even live with my mum, so I don't know what you're talking about, man. Yeah, so Mr. Yo also sticking up a tower over here, but look at that positioning. That's really out of position there. Not sure what's going on, and Viper sees it as well. He's going to rush that down with villagers. This game is so messy from Mr. Yo right now. The men-at-arms breaking down the palisade, and, well, Viper's just... Yeah, Mr. Yo has had so much idle time. It's painful to watch this at the moment. He cannot get the production going. He's making the archers to try and counter these men-at-arms, which are somehow not responding. But, yeah, I mean, this tower's down, or it's going to go down. Mr. Yo forced away from the wood entirely until these men-at-arms have cleared the area. And Mr. Yo now just mustering everything he's got into these archers. But so little food income. He's maxing out his berries. His deer at the back are being taken. But once they're gone, is he going to have enough wood for farms? It doesn't look like it, does it? It's just looking really bad for Mr. Yo right now. Viper. Sorry, I do this all the time. I've casted a series in the past between Viper and Yo, and I always end up saying Mr. Viper by the end of it. But Viper's adding in his second range now, and Skirmisher's Archer's coming out. He's got another 10 population advantage over Mr. Yo as well at the moment. It's just going from bad to worse for Mr. Yo as the time goes by. So, fortunately, he's got enough food income, just enough to keep villager production going, but I'm worried about when he loses these deer, because he's struggling so much at the moment to keep the wood up, especially now he's continuing to make more archers. Somehow, I guess Viper's been very, very kind. He's not actually lost anything at the back on this gold. Viper's not really headed up into Mr. Yo's base too much. Mr. Yo now... Well, he's going to try for a counter-attack, and Viper, meanwhile, has a few idols over here as well, and may decide now is the time to stick up a couple more farms as food gets pretty thin. But surprisingly, Viper taking quite a bit of stone, in fact, and he's probably going to put up a tower on this gold mine, because this is quite far from his town centre, and the tower coming up here will certainly protect those villagers if he puts a tower there. I mean, he might not. Those of you in the stream chat, if the stream is laggy to you, then that is not on my end. My stream has not dropped any frames since I restarted, so I would suggest F5ing or even control F5ing to try and get a new connection to Twitch. It should be fine, as like I say, my internet's alright for the time being. So Viper's going super aggressive on the front. The man-at-arms here just ripping down that archery range, and another tower going up on the front for Viper as well. Meanwhile, Viper's in a little bit of a precarious situation as these archers come through. Surprisingly, Mr. Yo with +1/+1 on these archers already, but Viper, learning from the last game, clearly bringing in his villagers to fight and still tearing down that archery range. He's like, screw your production, Mr. Yo. I'm going to take this archery range, and my goodness me, these skirms in there from Viper going to be doing some serious damage as well. And my goodness, this game is just so nuts. Like, these last two games have been crazy. Have I been to Amsterdam? No, I've not actually, but it would be a nice trip to visit Amsterdam one day. I think it would be a very good place to visit. Hey, look at this. Viper's actually losing a bunch of villagers in the front of the map, but at the front here. I'm surprised he stayed in so heavily there. Mr. Yo might have just brought himself back into the game with that little fight. In fact, Mr. Yo taking the score lead. Oh, Viper. Oh, Viper, that's gotta hurt. I think he kind of just threw away that almost. Like, that lead that he had, he just kind of got a little bit comfortable and just went for it and kind of got a little bit risky there. Viper's army at the moment is 2. Mr. Yo's army is 10, and Viper's suddenly not looking so good. He's down to 32 population, Mr. Yo's on 39, and obviously Viper here trying to please the crowd, I imagine, because that was not a wise decision to stay in so aggressively, taking all that arrow fire from the watchtower whilst taking so much of a beating from those archers of Mr. Yo. I don't think he was expecting that. And now Mr. Yo has that population lead. However, Viper does have the score lead, and he probably has managed to gather more resources so far. Mr. Yo now sticking up another tower, but this tower location, what is this tower location? I'm not sure, but he should get that tower up first. It will deny this wood, and if you actually have a look at this, Viper has 0 wood income at the moment, which is not so good when you need to reseed your farms and you've got no food income either. I'm starting to get a little bit worried for the Viper here. In fact, this map is worrying for everybody, really. It's a very challenging map to play. Mr. Yo gonna lose this tower pretty quickly, but Viper's still without any food income, any wood income, and look at that TC. It's idle. Mr. Yo's TC is looking just fine for now, and you know what, if Mr. Yo turns this around and wins this game, I would say kind of shame on the Viper for just throwing away a game that he should have had in the bag at that point in time. Mr. Yo still taking wood fairly safely on the right side, at the back taking a bunch of gold, a little bit of stone, and might stick up a couple more defensive towers here. As Viper regains a little bit of wood income, but really, I mean, this is unexpected from Viper, and he is quite far from the castle age. Look at all that gold, which he can't really spend too well because he doesn't have the wood to make archers with, or he didn't have. Look at all that stone, which he could make towers with if he had some more wood. Look at all the stone that he could build a castle with if he could go into the castle age. But looking at Mr. Yo's economy, it does look a little more balanced. He's not got a huge surplus of stone, but he does have enough to keep his villagers nice and safe, the ones that are gathering wood anyway, and he has got a decent amount of gold, but not too much. 480 is decent. He can make archers with that non-stop and have enough to go up to the castle age as well. And more farms than the Viper at the moment as well. So he has got more food income. And that's a big deal because more food income means that he will reach the castle age sooner as well. And that's going to be kind of important in this game. You know, the castle age is a big deal in Age of Empires because it's the age where so much more becomes available to you. You actually have the ability to take down buildings without suiciding half of your army, half of your entire population, suiciding to an archer, taking down an archery range. So there you go, Mr. Yo pulling himself, I believe, into the lead, even though the scores may say otherwise at the moment. Population-wise, Mr. Yo is still quite a bit ahead, and coming in now on this right side to raid. Viper building a bunch of towers, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons why you might be a little bit deceived by the score. If you take this into consideration, these defensive towers from the Viper here, these 3 towers here, the tower in the wood, all of these towers up this left side, that's a lot of towers. That's a lot of resources spent on them. That's a lot of villager time gathering stone, when he could be gathering food and gold, which is, generally speaking, what Mr. Yo is seemingly focusing on here. Building a market now as well. And now he's already got a blacksmith and an archery range, so that's not so that he can go up to the castle age. That's so that he can use the market to get his way to the castle age a little bit sooner, perhaps. I think we may see him buy a little bit of food. If you have a look, he's on 500 food already. He's got nearly 600 gold. He could buy a couple of hundred food there, boost himself into the castle age, and really start to raid the Viper's economy a little bit better. It's going to be tough. I mean, Viper's got a lot of towers here, making it very difficult to raid him, but at the same time, it's not exactly furthering himself either. So let's have a quick look at this then. Having a quick check. I'm not seeing too much. There we go. Yeah, he bought a little bit of food there, and that's going to boost him into the castle age on 46 population. Viper retaking the lead with 48, but making quite a few archers at the moment as well. Also, building a market, and again, we might see a little bit of market selling to try and reach the castle age a little sooner. But there's Mr. Yo clicking up, and that's 12% up to the castle age for him. What a messy game this is so far, though, and I think I know the reason why Mr. Yo dropped behind in population again. Viper coming up to the north of the map, we missed it, but a few dead villagers back here. Not so good. And looking at the military tab, not military tab, the population tab, sorry, we can see that the Viper does have a few more military units out on the map at the moment as well. A total of 17 ranged units versus the 13 for Mr. Yo. Now, I can only imagine Mr. Yo, yeah, going to be kickstarting that archer production again, perhaps even adding in a third archery range pretty soon. But the nice thing about this is that once he reaches the castle age, in fact, no, he's playing as the Mayans, of course. I was thinking for a second he was playing Aztecs because it's usually a mirror civ, but no, he's playing as the Mayans. So he's just going to drop a castle, or attempt to drop a castle at any rate. He'll lose another villager here, though, but running back to his tower means that Viper's going to lose 2 archers. I think we're going to see a reasonably fast castle drop from Mr. Yo. Where he puts it, though, that's going to be interesting. He could put it over here, maybe. And that would stop Viper's wood income and take down 2 towers, regaining the wood for Mr. Yo. I think there would be a pretty good location. We'll see if he decides to put it anywhere else. I'm sure there's plenty of good places to stick it. Viper, meanwhile, losing some archers to Mr. Yo's army back here. Mr. Yo is just in a great position, I feel, at the moment. Viper still not up to the castle age, and his army not looking so strong either at the moment, as he is outnumbered, and Mr. Yo is about to have a crossbow. There it is on the way up. Bodkin arrow as well. And he's got 150 stone to go before he can upgrade, or sorry, drop a castle down. So this is going to get pretty tight for the Viper here. Going to get pretty tense for the Viper. That castle could be very, very strong if Mr. Yo puts it in a good spot, and I imagine he probably will. Wood upgrade probably going to be coming in fairly soon. In fact, I didn't even notice if he'd done that already or not. But yeah, obviously crossbow, bodkin arrow, and that extra range is going to give Mr. Yo a little bit more in the way of pickings. he can start picking stuff up from a further distance, and there's that castle. Look at that. Honestly, I thought that would be the best location. I think Mr. Yo agrees. He's put it in practically the same place. I would say putting it a little bit further forward would be good. He'd be able to probably hit that tower and the wood as well. It's a little bit far back in my opinion, but really not bad from Mr. Yo, putting that castle down in a fantastic place, and that could be his way in, I guess. Now, we'll see what happens. Viper's still got a few archers hanging around on the right side, which he's going to want to put an end to, but the biggest deal here is that this castle is going to give access to plumed archers, and Mr. Yo can make those plumed archers take advantage of their strength and their cheapness, and try and hit Viper right back where it hurts, right in the gonads. So Viper's probably going to lose this tower down here. I don't know. I mean, these villagers coming over to save it. We'll see if that works out or not. But the tower going up there is certainly going to bring back the wood into Mr. Yo's control. Whilst at the top of the map, Viper's still looking for some kills. Viper on the way up to the castle age as well now. And we can probably see a castle from him very soon as well. Mr. Yo at the back of the map getting a couple of villager kills. Of course, he can start picking them off from much further away now. Taking a bit of a beating, however, from these towers still. I mean, they have some really big range on them. They're going to have 10 range in a minute. But Viper's calling GG right there. And what a game, really. That was, well, a little bit all over the place, to be honest with you. I don't think Viper's going to be happy with himself after losing that. In all honesty, I still think he threw it away a little bit. He definitely did not need to rush that archery range down there. I mean, taking out one archery range with all of your villagers and your man-at-arms and that, it's not that much of an advantage to you to be able to do that. I don't think, anyway. Especially when you consider that he lost so much in that fight. And after that, Mr. Yo took the population lead. And although Viper was able to hit Mr. Yo back at the back of the map and things like that, I feel that he was a little bit loose on that game. And he probably got a little bit too confident, I feel. And that's knocked him down a peg, because Mr. Yo bringing this series level yet again now at 2-2, and a good game from Mr. Yo, a good little comeback as well, and a good castle placement at the end there also. So there you go, GG. And that makes it 2-all overall. Let's come back then and